here. And today I am so glad to be joined by award-winning, Billboard chart-topping rapper KB. He's also an author, a movement maker, and his new album, His Glory Alone, Part 2, is out. I've been jamming. Danza, danza, danza. It's so good, bro.
Thank you so
Welcome,
much.
and thank you for taking time to chat with us.
Of course, of course. Thank you for having me, and I appreciate the introduction.
Yeah, I mean, the music is so good. I've always been a fan of your music. I just feel like it just continues to get just more in your face and raw and real, and I love it. And I gotta say, it's, not always when you listen to hip hop, Christian hip hop, are you taken in to, that place of worship, or
Yeah,
that place where you're kind of being reflective enough to praise God or worship God. And I love that
yeah.
about your music. And this album did it again. Thank you.
Mm. Oh man, you're most certainly welcome, and it's my pleasure. And I am amazed by God's grace and allowing for more of what we've done in the past to come to fruition and help so many people. So it's
Yeah.
always encouraging because we make music in the dark to some degree. It's just us in the studio. So when we get to hear the stories of how folks have been impacted by it, it's like, yes, Lord, thank you.
Mhm.
That's fire.
Talk about taking popular worship songs or gospel records or hymns and like weaving them and integrating them into the hip hop. That's super unique and it's working. It's really good. Talk about wanting to do that.
Yeah, I think it's something that flows out of who I am. I enjoy different genres of music. Before we started the interview, we talked about our need for diversity. That if we were somewhere that was just monochromatic and like a monolith, and we would feel uncomfortable. We like to be around fusions of culture and experiences and food and music, and because that's how God is. That's diversity is in the character of God. In terms of we worship a triune God. In theology, we call it the one in the many. And so I think that is in who we are. And I like to lean into it. I love to combine, to mix, to collaborate, to parallel, to reference. I love that kind of stuff. I like it in my food. I love boxing. I fight a little bit myself. I like to mix up my styles.
Wow.
I like it when it is merged. I'm in a family that is merged. I have
Yes.
Afro-Latino children, a Panamanian and Colombian wife whose sister is black, or whose dad is black, and Hispanic. So I live in a jumbled existence, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And it would only be right for my music to feel like that as well. I have, Vicky Winans and Fred Hammond and others, you know what I'm saying, Matt Redman and Chris Tomlin, Brandon Lake. These folk songs have meant so much to me because we sing them when we're at church, and we're at church regularly. So and these songs have carried me, and to see those songs then merge with the genre I love the most, which is hip hop, is it's almost a sacred thing for me. And I think that by God's grace, something profound happens when all the things that God likes align with each other, and that the product is something special. So it flows out of me, to answer the question directly. And I also share the reason why it flows out of me.
Yeah. But talk about kind of the spiritual aspect to it, because I mean, I don't know if you, I'm sure you do, but it's God breathed, right? When you are mixing of the cultures, I know that there's several people who sometimes like to kind of stick to what they do and just stick to
Yeah.
that. And I think we, growing up whatever upbringing we do, we have moments of those where we understand what it is to just stick with our own culture and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But then, like yourself and myself, when you go out there and you mix and it's diverse, there's something that God does. It's like it's
yeah,
God breathes on it in a special way. Have you experienced that or seen that?
yeah. I think so. I think yeah. I think the way I said it before was that when a bunch of things that God likes align with each other, you get something profound. What comes out of it is special. And I get asked often, how do you balance, KB, all the things that you're doing? Like, how do you stay balanced, make sure you're getting enough of everything? And and for me, it is the work of balancing is more about alignment. It's constantly bringing things that might be underemphasized and giving them the right emphasis that they need. Constantly returning back the things that I might have gotten distant from. And once you experience alignment, it's like a car. You're able to go much further than you could have went before. The wear and tear is different. The drive is more smooth and succinct. I think in a lot of ways, when you combine, you know, some first of all, I hope to always be desperate for Jesus, wanting more Jesus personally. I just don't want you to have more Jesus, so that you can like my songs, or make songs that make you want more Jesus. I want to make songs out of a person that is longing for more Jesus. These are the kinds of songs that I want somebody to make for me, so that I might go deeper in my faith. I'm making those kinds of songs. So that is at the core. And then creatively, I want to the best of my ability, make the most creative, ambitious, skillful work that I can. God is pleased with that. And then I want to be, you know, learning and gleaning from different genres and expressions of music that God also is pleased with. And if I can align all those things, I have noticed that the Lord is oftentimes pleased to anoint it. And I am a recipient. I'm grateful to be a part of it.
That's awesome. Another awesome thing about the album is you're opening up. You said in an interview, you never talked about your life like this on a record before.
Yeah,
There's a vulnerability that came forth this time around.
yeah,
And you just wrote a book too. So I know I wrote a book and I know what writing a book does as well. It just really opens you up.
beautiful.
Talk
Yeah.
about doing that though, how you like being able to kind of expose yourself in a way, in a vulnerable way, and just that experience.
Yeah, so great question, Jeannie. Um I am noticing, the older I get, the more complicated the world becomes.
Mm.
It's going the exact opposite way I thought it was going to go. I thought the older I get, the more in control I'll be, the more answers I'll have, the better I will be at solving problems. I'll be more prepared when experiences catch me off guard. The older you get, right? Because the longer you've been doing something, the better you get at it. And that's true in some respects. But
Oh
what I
man.
have felt very strongly, about just being a human in this world is that almost every year, or at least every season in your life, is a new experience. I have never had kids before. I had never lost somebody that was close to me. I had never had a friendship that I fought so hard for to sustain die anyways. I had never uh, felt spiritually abused by leaders or people that I've trusted. You know what I'm saying? I've never been stabbed in the back. I've never been robbed. Every time you go through those kinds of things, it's a new experience, and you're praying that God is giving you timeless character, that you're developing timeless character that can respond to those things. But oftentimes, as life is happening, crumbling, decaying around you, and even if it's not in your own life, the friends of your friends and your friends' family, it's you are exposed, especially if you are a communal person, a relational person. You like that you love transparency and authenticity. You're going to find yourself carrying the burdens, as Galatians says, fulfilling the law of Christ by carrying the burdens of other people. All of that is confounding, and I don't know any way to make music from that place without admitting my own frailty, my own brokenness, and exploring what that means in relationship to the glory of God. The glory of God is not simply theologically painting pictures of how wonderful God is, which that is also beautiful. The glory of God is also experienced, and I would argue it is mainly experienced. It's experienced in pleasure. It's also experienced in pain. It's experienced in triumph. It's also experienced in failure. The glory of God is this multifaceted reality that is compensating for all of the complexities of this life. And I'm writing about the nuances and complexities now in ways that I didn't before.
That's beautiful. The different phases of life that you just described. I'm like, I get it. I'm with you. I am literally right here with you. I'm like,
yeah,
I've never felt so unstable in my, what I'm supposed to be doing in the
yeah,
world than I
yeah,
do now. It doesn't
yeah,
matter. Doesn't mean my spirit isn't strong, but
yeah,
just with transition, motherhood, work, ministry,
yeah,
all these things, it's
yep,
amazing. You're
yeah.
preaching to
Well
me, bro.
said.
Thank you. I know you have a song, Miracles, your first single featuring Lecrae. I'm happy
Yeah,
to see y'all reunited. We didn't know, once you left Reach, if that was
yeah,
gonna happen again. So that was a nice surprise.
yes.
Talk about just the first single and putting it out there and for the world, and even being intentional with having Lecrae on it.
Yeah, so it was a honor to get Lecrae a part of it. I don't think I would be here today without God using him in the beginning stages of my career, and also just as a reference in that, excuse me, in that complicated season of life that we are walking into. You need some people around you that's been through stuff, that have stood the test of time, who've been, the path that we're on is well worn. There's a lot of footprints on that path, and I think Lecrae in a lot of ways has went before me, and has been able to now tell me where all of the traps are, help me to understand how to restore and to heal. Lecrae's voice, especially in the last 6 months, has been just this invaluable guide for me in this stage of life. Career is a little bit more simple for me because I don't have what he has. But I think what it means to be a father and a son, a husband, and a minister of the gospel, a member of a church. A lot of those things Cray has helped me out with here recently, and so again, everything that we do kind of flows out of an organic place. So the song "Miracles" just made sense. Like uh, for where our friendship is, what we've overcome as friends, and what we believe as children of God, that God can do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ever ask or think. So it was an honor having Cray being a part of it. And I think it's one of those feel good songs that is reminding people to keep that you are good at you're good, to keep believing, to keep hoping, to keep trusting, to keep enduring.
Man, that's beautiful. Thank you so much, KB. You've been a blessing to chat with. Is there anything else that you want to add and share about the album or about you, or what we can expect?
No, I think that covers it. Just thank y'all so much for your support, and you can listen to the album now everywhere you get music, and by God's grace, we will be announcing the tour for it soon, and y'all just keep us in prayer as we just try to be faithful to what God has allowed us.